Hi, my name is Wes Stepp, and I'm the head chef at Kelly's Outer Banks Restaurant and Tavern. A lot of people ask me up and down the beach, what's your favorite way to cook fish? Well, today I'm going to show you some of my favorite ways to cook fish. That's the whole idea of the video, is to show you all and demonstrate on some of my favorite ways, and maybe some of yours, on cooking Outer Banks seafood. We've got some of the freshest in the area. Ethridge Seafood out of Wanshee supplied us with all of it. We've got a whole different variety of seafood we're going to be doing today, all different recipes. I like to cook light and fresh. That's how we're going to be cooking. Summertime, that's the way you'll be cooking too. I've been cooking seafood down here for about 14 years on the Outer Banks, and I've learned a lot through trial and error. So today, I'm going to give you some of my best. And with that, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start off here with the flounder French market style. Waiting for my pan to heat up. You want the pan hot. Warming up this electric range. I've been blessed. We're lucky to be in the village of Nags Head in this beautiful kitchen. We're going to start off this fresh flounder. It's nice and firm, white. I'm doing a white piece and a dark piece. They're going to basically cook pretty much at the same time. The white piece will be done a little bit sooner, but the way I'm going to be battering it up, it's going to be staying fresh and moist the whole time. What we have here is a little bit of olive oil. I like to pan saute in olive oil, grapeseed oil. It's nice, it's light. It's what I use at the restaurant. It's what I'm used to using. Pretty accessible. What I have here is just plain flour, not self-rising, nothing fancy. A little bit of fresh basil, salt, pepper. I'm using kosher salt, fresh cracked pepper on almost all my dinners here today, or my flounders and seafoods that I'm using today. Okay, so we've dredged it in the flour, knock off the excess, then we run it through this egg wash. This is just whipped up eggs, fresh basil. We're going to finish it off with some sliced tomatoes. Always cook it fleshy side down first, because that's the side you're going to be serving up. Hear that? Nice and hot. You want to keep your rice salad. You want to keep your pan really hot, because if you don't, what's going to happen is you're going to have a flounder omelet, because the eggs just kind of like stick on the pan, stick on the flounder. See, I'm used to using gas. I'm used to that flame. But most places have electric, so it's good that I'm using this today. Okay, I've got all my condiments up here. Prep is 90% of cooking. I've worked last night and earlier today, and I cut up my vegetables and everything. My vegetables, I'm going to make a lot of salsas for you today. I'm going to make some cucumber vinaigrette. I'm going to make a fresh spicy mango salsa, and I'm going to make a tomato relish. That's going to go and accompany some of the other dishes. Also, what I'm going to be making today is some fresh slaws. The slaw I'm going to be making is not a mayonnaise-based slaw. We'll look at it right now. What it is I use my fingers when I cook too. Hopefully y'all do at home too. Cilantro lime slaw. This is made with olive oil. I've got it in a pamphlet inside the video. This is made with olive oil, cilantro, lime juice, crushed red pepper, a little bit of sugar. It's a really light version of a coleslaw. Here I have a chickpea, black-eyed pea. It's a real southern bean. And then I tossed it with rice. I made a rice salad. That's going to be our starch and our vegetable for this entree. Let me check it. It doesn't take very long, a couple minutes on each side. Because what I'm going to do is, nice, golden brown. What I'm going to do is finish it with a sliced tomato. Finish this whole entree in the oven. So it's not all done top of the stove. You'll see me, I use two knives throughout this cooking video. One's a paring knife when I do a couple garnishes for y'all. And the other one's a French knife. You see all these big knife sets and everything, and I've got one too. But in actuality, those are the two knives you need. Maybe a boning knife every now and then. But cooking's a lot like fishing. 90% of the baits that are sold for fishing are really there to catch the fishermen, not the fish. And that's the same way with a lot of cooking equipment. I'm going to have my little salt and pepper mixture right here. Finish it off with a little Romano cheese. Splash of white wine. Squeeze a fresh lemon. Man, this is nice. It smells really good. Hit it with a little fresh parsley. My oven's preheated at 400 degrees. It'll take about 6 minutes or so to get it in there. What I'll show you in that 6 minutes, it's probably not enough, but what I'm going to show you is a little lemon garnish. Whenever you're making anything at home, you can make it just as good as any restaurant. And the thing about restaurants is they use a lot of little tricks. One thing is they have people that cut the lemons. What I did was just straight through. I'll go back a little slower. That all I did is make a slice straight through the lemon, connect it from one edge to the other, and a diagonal cut from the top of one line to the bottom of the other line, all the way through the lemon. Makes a nice little cradle. This lady's house that we're using today, Miss May's, she has a nice fresh herb garden right down in the front yard. When I saw that, I go, wow, this lady really appreciates fine food, and especially when I saw the kitchen. It's a beautiful layout. So we got some fresh rosemary, big old scallion flour, just some garnishes, really easy to do. All you do with this flour, this is where I use my paring knife. All you do with that is just make slits straight through the top of your scallion. I like to lay it down, throw it in a little bit of ice water. Next thing you know, later on when you get ready to serve something, you've got that, okay? Really basic garnish. Let's check our flounder out. Like I say, I have my oven preheated at 400 degrees. Look at that, white, flaky. It's falling apart. If it's translucent or if it's tough still, throw it back in the oven for a couple more minutes. Now I use basil on this entree. If you like cilantro, use cilantro. I didn't use any garlic in this entree, but if you like garlic, use garlic. The best thing about cooking is everybody's their own cook. You know, we get to do what we want to do. That's my first entree I'm getting ready to do. Really simple and easy. Flounder French market style. You can do it at home. You did it with me. Keep doing it. Next, we're going to be doing one of the Outer Banks' favorite fish. We're going to be doing Gulf Stream tuna. Reach over here. Really nice, fresh tuna. Deep red. I happen to know for a fact this was cut yesterday. The guys down at Etheridge told me. If you're in a seafood market and you're buying seafood, look for the dark red. If it's flushed out looking, then you know you probably want to pass it on by. They're all caught right offshore. You probably caught some yourself, maybe. Another thing about the tuna is I've got a whole loin here. Often it's sold in large chunks. You want to cut it at the you want to cut it to the right thickness. I like to cut it about an inch, inch and a quarter thick, because that makes it cook evenly all the way, and it also doesn't promote overcooking of the seafood. What happens a lot of times if it's too thick is you'll cook the heck out of the outside of it, and the inside will be really rare, and most people don't want it that rare. You need to leave some pink inside of your tuna. The tuna is if it's overcooked, then it's just as well be potato or tuna salad. So what I'm going to do is cut it down. What we're going to do today is a wasabi soy marinade. Simple as that, wasabi and soy. If you eat sushi, you recognize the combination. Wasabi is a Japanese horseradish. It comes in a dry powder, and you mix it with water, and it forms a paste such as this. What I did was just mix it with about a half a cup of soy sauce. You only want to marinate this tuna for about 5-6 minutes. It won't be too hot. You don't have to worry about that. Wasabi is very hot. but it's not like a jalapeno pepper or something like that's going to stick with you for a long period of time. It's a cleansing hot. It sort of just comes in and out right through you. This is not going to make the tuna though too spicy, especially with what I do with it. I'm taking the tuna then, taking some black and white sesame seeds, just simply coating one side. I've got my pan getting really nice and hot over here. Maybe too hot, we'll see. Got olive oil again. It's not going to take long. About a minute and a half on each side. I'm going to be serving this tuna today with a real, fresh, light cucumber vinaigrette. I got to watch that tuna because I do not want to overcook it. While I'm doing that, I'll throw together my cucumber vinaigrette. Cucumbers, peeled and seeded. My day onions, a little bit of cilantro, fresh chopped chives, a little tomato for color, also like a little bit of sweet yellow pepper. Okay, as far as the marinade goes, simple. Olive oil, just a little bit, just enough to cover your vegetables. Rice wine vinegar. Rice wine vinegar, my favorite vinegar. It's sweet, it's mild. It's not overpowering. It's not nearly as acidic as the red wine or the, although they're good too in their own dishes, but these, for any kind of oriental dish that I'm going to do or any kind of really light salsa, I like to use the rice wine vinegar. Look at that. Nice and dark. The soy darks out the fish. Browned on top. The sesame seeds give it a nice nutty flavor. My cucumber vinaigrette is just about there. Put a little bit more tomatoes in there. I like the color. I love having all these condiments laying around. It's really nice. Stack that right on the plate. That's going to be the base and the vegetable for my tuna. Next, what I'm going to show you is, if you go to a restaurant, you see a lot of really fancy looking stacks. This is PVC pipe. PVC pipe's not just for plumbers anymore. We're using it in restaurants all up and down the Outer Banks and all over the country. Be stainless steel. That's just a plastic pipe. What I've done is taken the rice from my rice salad, and I warmed it up in the microwave with a little bit of Parmesan cheese. Using the same thing, it's just going to be warm this time. Okay, stack it in there. Stack it. There you got it. Nice stacked fish or rice. Okay, feel my fish. Look, it's still kind of soft. It's going to be nice, pink on the center. See if we can get the camera in on that. That's it. It's still kind of red there. This piece is going to be done on this side. Now, when I take it out, you might say, well, that's a little red for me. We'll cook it a little longer if you'd like. For me, that's perfect. I'm taking it out a little red because I got to remember also that my fish will continue to cook. Now, how am I going to finish it? This is sriracha. This is, if you see it on the side of a plate at a restaurant, something like that, and you don't know what it is, it'll fire you right up. But it's just that oriental chili, garlic chili paste. Now, I like to keep things high. This is a flour tortilla. Take that off. Flour tortilla that I have crisped off in the onion or in the oven with a little bit of the chili, a little bit of olive oil on it. I baked it off at 400 degrees till it gets nice, hard. And there you have it. Really simple. Wasabi, soy marinated tuna, sesame seared, served with a cucumber vinaigrette, same rice salad we made earlier, just warmed it up. Okay, the next item I'm going to be doing today is going to be dolphin fromage. Now, dolphin's also known throughout, especially on the West Coast and Hawaii, as mahi. Down here on the Outer Banks, a lot of times you'll see in the restaurant, you'll see advertised dolphin. It's not flipper. It is a fish caught right out in the Gulf Stream. If you've ever been fishing out there, you've probably caught dolphin, and they're beautiful, brilliant colored fish in the water. They're really fun to catch and probably my favorite to eat. They're real white, nice and firm fish, unlike the tuna. You want to cook them probably just a tad more than you do the tuna. You want them all the way done. They're a flaky fish. The thing about dolphin is, if you get a fillet like this, a lot of people will cut it real nice and thick pieces, such as, which is fine. I like to cut all my fish on a bias. Makes it cook faster, makes it cook more even, makes the portions look nicer. Just gives me a little bit more control. I like it a little thin. I don't like to waste a lot of time with cooking the fish. I like to really cook it fast. That way it sears in the juices, sears in the flavor. But if it's real thick, well then you got to cook it a lot longer, and a lot of times you'll find you're burning the fish halfway through. What we're going to do today is dolphin fromage, is what I call it. It's with the crab meat fromage. The crab meat comes from Mesquite, North Carolina, which is inland. Mesquite's known for its crab meat. It's got some of the best crab meat in the world. This dish is fromage, is French for cheese. So this was taught to me by one of my sous chefs many years ago. And what we're going to use for cheese is Parmesan cheese. We're going to take 4 egg yolks. The thing about this is, you want your fromage to be really nice and thick. The egg yolks are going to be your binding agent, as well as a little bit of mayonnaise in there. Okay, what we're going to do is just mix them up. Egg yolks, Parmesan cheese, and mayonnaise. Thinking, wow, that looks heavy. But once you put it on the fish and you bake it off in the oven, this is a baked entree. So one thing about it is, if you expect a dinner guest to come over or something like that, you can pan sear your fish off, par cook them, if you will, a little bit earlier. Have your fromage ready. About 5 or 10 minutes before your guests get ready to eat, you just top it off with the fromage. See what I'm, nice and thick. What I'm going to do is put some condiments in it. A little parsley for color. A little scallions, because gotta love scallions. I don't want to eat any tomato in this. I'm going to put sweet red pepper, sweet yellow pepper, and of course, crab meat. Generous amount. This is back fin crab meat. If you're going to be using, I'm going to have to use my hands here. If you're going to be using any kind of crab meat, crab cakes, toppings, stuffings, back fin generally, as long as you pick through it, and I already picked through this, would do just as good as the lump and be less expensive. Lump, if you're going to do any kind of sauteed, or you're going to see the big lumps, you really want to do that. There you have it. That's what the crab meat fromage looks like before it's on the fish. Now, it's a little messy, but if you're a cook and you're watching this video, you've been messy yourself. Here we got a little olive oil again. My pan's probably really nice and hot. Now I changed my oven over. I've got it on broil now because what I want to do is brown the fromage off. Take my dolphin and hit it. A little bit of flour, just plain flour. That protects the fish. You got to have a little bit of flour on there. It's going to protect the fish from that oil, keep it from burning the outside of the skin. Not going to take long. Because like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this off in the oven. Now I want to hit this with a little bit of lemon. Throw the lemon right in there. Fresh parsley. Kosher salt, fresh cracked pepper. Pan-ade, browned on both sides. Let it cook. Take a dollop of my fromage. Right across the top. You can see the crab meat, you can see the sweet red peppers, the herbs. This is probably one of the #1 sellers we have at Kelly's. Whenever we run it on special, whatever kind of fish we use, it's another thing I wanted to make sure you knew. I could do this same fromage topping with wahoo. I could do it with the flounder. I could do it with bluefish if I wanted to. I could do it with fresh trout. This goes with any fish. Tuna, I don't much like the baked tuna because it has a tendency to overcook once you go into the oven. But all the other fish, red snapper, if you're using fish from somewhere else, or salmon, this fromage topping, generally all the dishes that I do can be used with different kinds of fish. So don't think I'm limiting you to dolphin. Let's stick it underneath. Okay, that's gonna brown off for just a minute. What I've done now is do my plate presentation. Tomatoes. Fresh tomatoes laid across the top. What do I want to hit it with? I want to just drizzle with just a little bit of olive oil. Salt and pepper. I like to put a little salt and pepper. I season about every ingredient as I add them into the pan. What I'm going to finish this with also is a Parmesan crisp. A Parmesan crisp is nothing more than Parmesan cheese, shredded, just like you can buy in the store. Just baked in a sheet pan, 400 degrees. Takes about 8 minutes. What you want to do is you want to wait till it gets past the melting point and into the brown point. Next thing you know, you come out, you let them cool off. You've got a nice firm Parmesan crisp. Really stiff. It's an excellent garnish. It's an excellent dipper. Okay, so I got the tomatoes, real simple presentation. Simpler the better. You want the topping nice and brown, golden brown. All you have to do is reach in, just feel your fish. If it pulls right away with your tongs, well then it's done enough. Get it out of there. Serve it right on top of fresh sliced tomatoes. One. It's hot, it's hot. Parmesan crisp coming out of the top. See, I told you how easy that Parmesan crisp is to make, and you can see the presentation that it gives. All of a sudden you've got a restaurant caliber food. You've got something that they see in some of the finer restaurants around town, and you've done it right in your living room. Parmesan crisp, marinated tomatoes, fresh basil, olive oil, dolphin fromage. Do it with wahoo, do it with trout. Impress your friends with that. It's really nice, really keeps the fish moist. Next dish we're going to be doing is a bronzed swordfish with a buffalo fried shrimp. I'm going to serve that on a spinach and basil leaf salad with a sweet tomato and sweet tomato relish. Swordfish is usually long-lined off the coast of North Carolina, off the coast of the Outer Banks. All the fish that we've been using here are harvested within a 200-mile radius of the Outer Banks. I was going to go ahead and do rockfish and on this special, but I went ahead and did swordfish because it's May and rockfish is out of season. Let me go ahead and take you to the swordfish. Swordfish has got a skin a lot like a shark on the outside of it, nice and white. Probably familiar with the fish. When I cut it down, I like to cut about 1-inch swordfish steak. Makes it cook quick. You want to cook a swordfish just a little bit longer than you would a tuna. You want it to be more like the dolphin. You want it done all the way through. Now, when I'm talking about bronzing, what I'm talking about is Cajun seared. Use your favorite Cajun spice, use your favorite Creole spice. But what you do different is you add brown sugar and a little bit of regular granulated sugar. What that does is it gives a little bit of spicy sweetness to your fish. Also, it gives your fish a little sheen because the sugar caramelizes on the outside. So I'll wait for my pan to get hot. The sweet tomato relish, that's one of my favorite dishes. It's really light. It accents all grilled items you may be doing. It accents any kind of seafood or chicken for that matter. What it is fresh tomatoes. We'll go right into making that. Summer tomatoes, sweet yellow pepper. I like the contrast of the yellow and the red. I don't use as much green pepper. That's just a personal preference. I think green pepper is a little bitter for me. Red onion, a little bit of sugar, because I am going to put some vinegar in here. The vinegar I'm going to use is rice wine vinegar again. Also, you can use red wine vinegar. Cilantro, a little bit of fresh basil. Rice wine vinegar, because of the sweetness. Red wine vinegar would also work. Olive oil. Kosher salt, cracked pepper. Mix it up. Yeah. Okay, what else do I put in here? Depends on what you like. I also have, you could use grilled jalapeno peppers or straight jalapeno peppers if you want to spice it up a little bit. You're making basically a pico de gallo type salsa. I'll put that over to the side, see if my pan's hot. Looks like it is. Dredge my swordfish. A little bit of Cajun spice. Now, the difference between this and blackening also is I'm just using a regular saute pan. I'm not getting a cast iron skillet way on white heat or whatever like you generally think of with blackening, because I don't want to smoke the kitchen out. And I think that's why a lot of people steer away from this kind of cooking, but you don't have to smoke the kitchen out. All you have to do is get it nice and hot like we've been doing, pan searing almost all our fish. See, there's not too much smoke. Next, what we're going to do, let that cook. It's going to take about 2.5, 3 minutes on each side. I'll show you exactly when I think it's ready to go. Next, what we're going to be doing is taking our shrimp. And this is just a simple fried shrimp. They also make excellent appetizers. Now, if you wanted to, you could take tuna bites or dolphin bites or whatever and do the same thing with the bronzing of them. Maybe cut them up into pieces, put them in a pan. Be a nice little appetizer for your party. And these buffalo fried shrimp are generally served as an appetizer. We also do buffalo fried tuna bites. Take the chain off the tuna like I showed you earlier, the chain from the tuna. Do the same thing, egg wash, flour. Got my little fry daddy working over here. Not quite the institutional model I'm used to, but it works fine. This is just plain flour. It's got a little salt and pepper in it. The egg wash is made simply of 1 egg and a cup of milk. Nothing to it. I'm not using self-rising flour, although it would work. I'm just using a plain flour because I don't need my shrimp to get really poofed up. See how my fish is doing. Look at that. Now see, it's not blackened, but yet it's got, because of the sugar, it caramelizes. So you don't have to reach the temperature to blacken like you normally think about. Therefore, you don't create as much smoke. We are creating some smoke, but it's not too bad. Nothing that your kitchen shouldn't be able to handle. Next, what I want to do is go ahead and do the salad. Taking some fresh spinach. I like to eat light. If you're down here in the summer, you're on the go all day, trying to keep up with whoever on the beach, the kids, doing this, that, and the other. I'm draining off the vinaigrette from my tomato relish. Put it right on my spinach. Toss in some fresh basil leaves. I'm also going to toss in some cubed cucumber. Just toss it around. And being that it's so green, I'd like to break it up. I'm going to throw in, what I have here is, say, what is that burnt pepper? What it is a grilled red pepper. Just take the outer skin off of it. You've got a roasted red pepper or a grilled red pepper. I'm going to toss it right in with my spinach. It's going to look black on the outside. I put a little olive oil on it, a little salt and pepper. Gives it a nice sheen. Put that down. Nice big salad underneath. And the spinach goes well with the buffalo fried. Always hit it just a little salt and pepper. I season almost everything that goes into my entrees. So if you ate it individually, it would taste just as good. I'm going to put the swordfish on there. It's kind of a large portion. This is more of a dinner for two. Turn my blackener off. Finish it off with a little bit of tomato relish. Now, what I'm going to do here is grabbing a little bit of Maytag blue cheese. Maytag's one of the top of the line blue cheeses. You can use any one you want. Just crumble it around there. Also goes well with the spinach. Take this, put this off to the side. To do my buffalo fried shrimp, I got a little softened butter. Texas Pete's what I use. If you like something different, if you like it a little spicier, put a little cayenne in there. I think it's usually spicy enough for me. Make sure it's big enough, the bowl is, to toss. I just toss it up. A little hotter. Spice it up a little bit. Now I'm just going to lay a couple buffalo fried shrimp across the top there. On the sides, the Maytag blue cheese. Finish it. Just a drizzle of favorite blue cheese dressing. Nice and light. You got a lot of flavor right there. And you got a healthy base. There you have it. It's a real flavorful dish. Spinach and basil, buffalo fried shrimp, bronze swordfish. Definite crowd pleaser. Well, it's May down here on the Outer Banks, and it's soft shell season. May and June, sometimes July. Sometimes the season lasts longer, sometimes it lasts shorter. You never know. It's when the soft shells bust out of their shells. They get a little bit bigger, and it's a time that they harvest them in the local areas, the inland areas out of the sound. It's where the blue crab loses its shell, becomes soft. We can eat the whole crab during this time of the year. What I'm going to show you is an herb-breaded panade soft shell crab. Now, before we get into that, though, we got to clean the crab. And cleaning the crab is kind of a harsh thing to do, if you ask me, but it's just the way it is. What we have to do is, first you have to go ahead and just put them out of their misery and take the face off. And then you reach up, take the lungs out, take the lungs out of each side. Flip it over, take the back flap off, clean soft shell. Then I like to take them and rinse them underwater, get the green out of there. Although that is very edible, it's not going to hurt you. As a matter of fact, a lot of people really enjoy it. I just don't like it because of just more eye appealing without it. If the shell is a little bit hard, then sometimes they're called paper shells. That means they've come out and been exposed to the air a little bit, and their shell's already beginning to harden back up. And if they're real hard, or not real hard, but if they're not comfortable for you to eat, you just rip the whole shell off and you can go ahead and cook them. Now, when you're doing a pan sauteed soft shell, it's opposed to a deep fried soft shell. I'd egg wash this if I was deep frying it, like I did the shrimp for the buffalo shrimp dinner earlier. I'd egg wash then flour, because you want more flour on them to protect them against the grease and to make them a little bit more crisp. But when you're pan sauteing a soft shell, you want minimal amount of flour, just enough to protect it, make it a little bit crisp, give it the flavoring you want to, etc. You also want a little bit more oil in the pan. What we're going to do is not egg washing, just toss our soft shell with the herbs. What I used in my flour was fresh basil, cilantro, cracked pepper, salt. That's it. Nice and hot. Now, when you do a pan sauteed soft shell, trust me on this one, cover it with another pan. Because something about soft shells is they will pop on you in the pan. You'll probably hear it before it's done. And when they pop on you in the pan, if that grease pops up in your eye or on your face, did you hear that? It'll turn you off the things. What we're going to serve this with is pan sauteed shrimp and a pasta Alfredo sauce. A lot of people want to know, how do you make pasta Alfredo? I know you can buy it in the store, but it's so simple to make at home. Whoa, that thing's really popping. What we have is 1 cup of heavy cream, 2 egg yolks. Your egg yolks are basically going to be your thickening agent in this. It's not something you want to eat every now and then, but it is a definite treat. What we're going to do is cook our shrimp. This is for your non-dieting day. Cook our shrimp. That's a little bit of olive oil. Turn the heat up a little bit. I'm going to saute it with a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm going to hit this special with a little bit of garlic. Alfredo is generally seasoned with salt, pepper, nutmeg. Put whatever you want into it. I'm using garlic today. That's what I want to do. Let's check our soft shells. Nice, golden brown on one side. Cover him back up. Check out our Alfredo sauce. Make sure our shrimp are nice and pink, tight. Just use any kind of pasta you want, your favorite pasta. I just used, this is just a dried pasta that I went ahead and cooked off because I figured that's what a lot of people would be doing. Spinach pasta is real good with this. It's tomato fettuccine. Tortellini is excellent with this dish. Shrimp are just about ready to be sauced. I'm going to go ahead and throw that in. All we have is 1 cup of heavy cream, 2 egg yolks. This will start thickening up on us. Get the flour out of the way. Now what I want to do while that's thickening up is I'm going to go ahead and make a jalapeno tartar. That's how I'm going to finish this dish. It's basically a tartar sauce. I've combined mayonnaise, sweet pickle relish, a squeeze of lemon, Worcestershire, and then I finish it off with jalapeno that have been grilled and then diced. The reason I like to use those is just fires up your whole entree. Here's my bubbling down. Love it when it starts bubbling. That means it's about ready. Toss my pasta in there. If you don't like it that spicy, take the jalapenos out. Add sweet red peppers. Give it some color. Nice. About done. I'm going to hit it with a little bit of Parmesan cheese. I'm also going to hit it with a little bit of lime. Throw it right in there. Boom. Toss our pan, pasta. I added the pasta to my sauce, so I add a little bit more seasoning. It's already thickening up, as you see. Add a little bit of cheese right in there. Like I say, it's something you don't want every single night, but it is definitely a treat every now and then. It's ready to go. Put the pasta in the bowl. Shrimp. Take off my soft shell, nice and crisp. Boom. Finish it off with a little bit of the jalapeno tartar. Spice it up just a tad. Fresh parsley. A little bit of your diced tomatoes from earlier. I like to use the rosemary sprig. Even though I didn't put any in the dish, it looks really nice on there. We are doing plate presentation as well. I put a little sriracha on the side. Nice little lime garnish. So there you have it. One of our spring treats down here on the Outer Banks. This is a pan-ade herb-crusted soft shell served on a pasta Alfredo with shrimp, finished off with a jalapeno tartar. Really nice, really simple, and it's really good. We're gonna do some crab cakes now. Crab cakes are lump crab meat and backfin crab meat I'm mixing together. The crab meat generally comes from Lake Matamesquite. Matamesquite's known for its crab meat, some of the best crab meat in the world. What we're going to do is a spicy pan-fried crab cakes. I've got some Dijon mustard. Basically, I'm just going to make a little crab salad, a little Dijon mustard, 1 egg. It's kind of a binding agent. I'm using a little bit of mayonnaise that I've mixed up with the diced jalapenos. Mix that up, nice and thick. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of vade onion in there, sweeten it up, give it a little bit of the vegetable bite to it. Fresh parsley. And what I'm going to bread the outside of it with is panko, which is a Japanese style breadcrumb. I like them because they're really crisp, they're light, they're a good breader. If you don't have them, or if you can't find them, no big deal. Just find the breadcrumbs that you choose to use or make your own. Okay, let's go ahead and make up our crab cakes. It's a small ball. You can see the texture, it's holding together. You don't have to be quite as tight as when you're deep frying them, because when you're deep frying them, there's more oil all the way around them. And it'll make them break apart if they're not really tight. So a lot of people put a little bit of breader inside of the crab cake. With these, we're not. I'm going to go ahead and just make 2 of them up. Get my pan nice and hot. What we're also going to make with this is I'm going to serve it with a fresh guacamole. What I did was I just took the avocados, chunked them up, nice. They were, you know, nice and soft and ripe. And I mixed them with our sweet tomato relish that we made earlier. That makes for an excellent guacamole. It's going to be a nice topper for our crab cakes. I'm using a Teflon pan. I'm going to pan saute them in olive oil. You could also fry them in the fried eddy, just as is. What I would do now is I'd go ahead and put these on a small plate or whatever, have them prepped up earlier in the daytime, put them in the refrigerator. They firm up as they set in there and keep chilling down. And then by the time you're ready to cook, they're ready to go. Let's go ahead and put our olive oil in there. I'm serving these today with andouille sausage, cheese grits. Got to have grits if you're cooking Southern style. And basically, they're just quick grits. They're cooked in a little bit of chicken stock, just like you'd cook grits. A little bit of chicken stock simmered till the liquid's gone. I put a little bit of cream in them and cheddar cheese. Also added a little andouille sausage, which is a spicy sort of Southern sausage. See if my oil's hot enough. Yeah. You hear it popping. Turn it up a little bit. I like it a little hot. But you don't want it quite as hot as we were doing earlier, because you want the crab cake cooked all the way through. Also, what I'm going to be serving here is collards. Collards going to be pan sauteed. These have been blanched off and chopped up, chiffonade, if you will, of collards. A little bit of red onion. I don't have any bacon. You could put some chopped bacon in there if you like, but I'm just doing a little quick garlic. And our salt and pepper. Now, if you want them spicy, put a little crushed red pepper in there. And what I'm going to hit them with, make them a little bit tart, the rice wine vinegar. Nice and brown on one side. I get them just a little bit browner than that. A little bit browner than that. We'll just turn it over again. Gosh, see how bright the collards are? If they start turning too dark on you, just hit them with a little bit of lime juice. Put the collards down. Let's hit it with our andouille cheese grits. Really nice, just like you make for breakfast, but not. That sausage gives the grits a real bang. Almost ready. That's how you want them, nice and brown. Let them cook all the way through. If you like them, put a little bit of our lime garnish on the side. A little scallion. Just like that. Finish it with a little bit of the guacamole. Fresh parsley and a rosemary sprig. Like I say, just give the plate some depth. There you have it. Lump crab cakes with a punch. Jalapenos, pan-fried, andouille sausage cheese grits, collards, simple, elegant, just for you. Okay, now what we're going to do is get ready to take it outside. Grilling is one of the favorite pastimes on the Outer Banks. So what are we going to do with this seafood? Well, we're going to grill it all. Everything I prepared today. The tuna, the dolphin, the wahoo, the swordfish, the soft shells, and the shrimp. 2 different kinds of marinades I'm going to do today. 2 of my favorite kinds of marinades. One of them is going to be a cilantro vinaigrette. And basically it's like a chimichurri. If you see that in restaurants, you'll know more about what it's about. It's going to be with fresh garlic, cilantro, a little bit of rice wine vinegar. I don't use a whole lot of vinegars when I marinate fish. If you do use vinegars or citrus juices, remember the acidity will cook the fish. So only put them in there for about 20 minutes or so if you're going to marinate them. You got to marinate them and get them out. It's not like beef or something that you have to really soak in the marinade anyway. I don't generally marinate fish for very long. These fish that I'll be marinating today will be about 15 minutes max, and you'll see the flavor coming right through the camera. What we're going to do also is finish them off with all 3 of our fresh salsas. Keep them fresh and light. All those salsas that we made earlier, the cucumber vinaigrette, the fresh tomato relish, and the another one I'm going to make for you right now, which is going to be the spicy mango salsa, is really complimentary to all your grilled items that come off the grill. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started with the pesto marinade, or the rather the cilantro pesto. And so what we're going to do is just throw it right in here. Fresh cilantro. It's got a light flavor. A little bit of garlic. A little bit more. I like the garlic in this. A little bit of sugar. Kosher salt, fresh cracked pepper. See if I can get my Cuisinart together. There it is. Good. Pulse that up. All we're going to do is hit it with a little bit of oil. It's just straight olive oil. If you want to use a vegetable oil, that'd be fine. I like the olive oil. I want it also to be runny enough that it's going to, if you want to make it thick, it'd be good tossed with a pasta. If you want to do a pasta dish with it, just like you would a pesto. And then, let's go ahead and hit it with just a touch of vinegar. Like I said, I don't use much of it when I'm doing fish. Looks pretty good. Doesn't take long. The next marinade I'm going to be doing is a Thai curry, Carolina Thai. That's what I call it. And I can go ahead and don't have to really wash this thing out too much because the cilantro and the garlic are going to accent the Carolina Thai, which is going to be made with soy. Put that right on our fish. This side of the fish. A little bit of the soft shell. Put the shrimp over here. There we have it. All we want to do is, I'll go ahead and toss that with my hands. And we get ready for the next one. Sure that sucker's on. There it is. All right, the next marinade we're going to do I'm going to use this. This is hoisin sauce. Hoisin you can find in about any of the shops down here nowadays. They're all really getting into the different Oriental sauces, and this is kind of sweet. This is going to add a sweet flavor to our marinade. Soy. That's the salt and the pepper. A little bit of olive oil. Going to help also keep our fish from sticking when we put it on the grill. And then right here is Thai curry. This isn't like your normal curry that you're going to have at yellow curry. This is a Thai curry, and it really brings out a bold flavor in fish and meats. I really like to use it. Put a little bit of it in. It is a little spicy, and it'll give that food a definite bite. But the hoisin offsets it because of its sweetness. Like I said, the cilantro and the garlic from the previous pesto, put it in there. Really, really makes it taste good. Cuisinart's tricky. All right. Here we go with this fish. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Nice. See this? You can take it right from the bottom of the pan or whatever you marinate it in and baste your fish with this, and you almost got a barbecue sauce, sort of an Oriental barbecue sauce. I'm going to take my hands, just make sure my fish is covered up with both. Soft shell, put him over here. Generally, we don't grill soft shells out. You're not going to find them grilled out much, but you can grill them. If you're a real soft shell lover, it's an excellent way to prepare them. All right. For the vegetables, rice wine vinegar, olive oil, sugar, salt and pepper. I'm using asparagus, sweet yellow pepper, red onion, and zucchini. Simple. For the mangoes, I've already got some diced mango here. We use a little bit of red pepper, a little bit of red onion, a little bit of yellow pepper. Now, whenever you're cleaning a mango, I already cut the ends off. What I do is just skin it right out. If you want to get a nice dice on your mango, there's a couple different ways to clean the mangoes. You can just cut them straight down the side, then make like a tic-tac-toe design on them, and then just twist the skin back out and the mango will come out. This is the way I'm doing it today. Take it right off the side. Remember, there's a big seed in there. That's all seed. Then all you do is a little cutting technique. One slice across the top, right through the center, not all the way through. Look at that. Nice little dices. Real simple, real easy. A little sugar to accent your mango. A little rice wine vinegar. A little salt and pepper. What are you putting salt and pepper in that for? Everything gets a little bit of salt and pepper for me. There we got a spicy mango salsa. Now if you want to make it even more spicy, put a little crushed red pepper in there. That thing rocks. Okay, so what we got here is the grilled vegetables, 2 different kinds of marinated grilled fish, spicy mango salsa, and the tomato salsa and the cucumber vinaigrette from earlier. And let's take it out to the grill and see how we do. We're down here at the grill. Today we're using a charcoal grill. We're lucky the house we're using has got a grill built right in. Got the beautiful sound over there. Here's our tuna. This is with the soy hoisin marinade. What I'm doing is spraying down my tuna a little bit with some Pam, any kind of spray that will non-stick spray. There's the Wahoo. That keeps it from sticking on the grill. You don't want to spray your grill directly because what happens is it just burns right up. Keeps your fish from sticking. Here's my chimichurri, swordfish. Doesn't take long to grill this fish either. I kept my grill's nice and hot. The charcoal's real hot. Put my shrimp on. Grill off a few of my vegetables. I grilled a whole red onion, or a whole white onion, Vidalia onion. This is some grilled mango. Complement the salsa. I'm going to spray the outside of it too. Raise the temperature of the grill. I'm going to get some nice grill marks on there. Soft shells are a little bit different than the fish. You really want to cook them till they're nice and crispy. They're going to look a little bit charred on the outside. That's all right. You want them done all the way. Once you eat them though, it's just like eating a lump crab meat out of the pound containers, because it's basically, and it gives them that grilled flavor. So it's like grilled lump crab meat. Use a little zucchini, comes right out of curry tuck. About right out of grill space here. Get the idea. That's it on that. Go ahead and take that back over there. Thank you. That's my daughter Jackie. Have the whole family helping out with the grill. Okay, now generally what I do is I close the grill. I like to keep the grill closed. It increases the top of the heat. Increase the temperature in there. It's not a gas grill, it's charcoal. I got my cucumber vinaigrette and my mango salsa ready to go. That's going to go across the top of the fish. See how we're looking. I don't want to overcook the fish. I want to keep the fish nice and moist. The marinades are going to help us keep the fish nice and moist. That's one good thing. But still, if you apply too much heat, too much grill heat, then you're going to dry that stuff out. What do you do with it if you dry it out too much? Or the next day with leftovers? Makes an excellent grilled tuna or grilled wahoo fish salad. Look at that. Nice grill marks. That's because we used that spray on there. The spray really helps accent the grill marks. Those are our wahoos. Our onions across the top. We don't want to over grill our vegetables. Our shrimp, the wahoo, everything's going to cook about the same time. Our asparagus, grilled on one side. Put our soft shell back over. That's a beautiful garnish. As well, it's a Vidalia onion. You can eat it just like an apple if you want to. I really love the Vidalia onions. The mangoes have a really unique and good flavor because it's sweet and then combined with the grilled. Also put a little salt and pepper on them. That's the chimichurri shrimp. See how it's green? Nice color. You can just taste it. Just look at the flavor in those things. Soft shell, browned on one side. We'll let it cook for another 2 or 3 minutes on the other side. Our fish is almost done. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and just whip up our platter. Put our salsa right here. Take our nice asparagus, our grilled vegetables. The rice wine vinegar and the sugar gives it all the flavor you need. Now, if you're a big garlic lover, you can put garlic and olive oil in there. Wahoo is done. Look at that. I don't know if the camera can get it, but it is white and flaky and it's beautiful. Put a little asparagus. Tuna, also a little pink in the center. It's going to keep cooking. It's beautiful. It's done just right. How long did that take us? 4 minutes, 5 minutes tops. Dolphin should be done. All our fish is about the same. Shrimp, nice and brown. I'll put them right across the top. Swordfish with a chimichurri. Garnish with the grilled onion. Finish it with a little bit of the spicy mango salsa. Got the cucumber vinaigrette on the side. Here we got our soft shell crab. Cook that thing a little bit more if you want. I like to undercook it rather than overcook it. There you have it. Cucumber vinaigrette, fresh spicy mango salsa. You have tuna, wahoo, shrimp, chimichurri, and Carolina thyme marinated, grilled Vidalia onions, and grilled vegetables. This is easy. This is good. I guarantee you'll be happy with it. Try it. The Outer Banks is known for its beautiful beaches, its gorgeous sunsets, its fresh local seafood, and the family and friends who come down here each and every year to share and enjoy it. This is my family and friends, and we're getting ready to eat what we fixed today. I truly hope that this video helped you out, made you a little bit more confident, made you a little bit more familiar with cooking Outer Banks seafood. I'd like to give a special thanks to Etheridge Seafood, who supplied us with all this beautiful seafood we're doing today. They're right out of Wanchese, North Carolina. The Village of Nags Head, the Mays, who let us camp out here in their home for a couple days, and for all of you who purchased the video. Thanks a lot, and right now it's time to eat. Carla, you want to take us out of this? Go for it.
God is great, God is good. Let us thank Him for our food. By His hands we all are fed. Give us our daily bread. Amen.
Oh, thank God I'm not 40. I can tell you that.